So get it and gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Is gone here?
No, I think they said they weren't gonna be here.
Okay. Okay, so we're also 9Q to 10Q. So we're now starting the single digit cube habits.
Fair.
Okay. Okay. What? That's not right.
Uh,
Do you know the Joseki?
Apparently not. No.
The Joseki is here.
Okay.
And so my question is, if you don't know the Joseki, one, you should study it. But two, why do you think you can't Hane?
Yeah, that looks obvious in hindsight. I guess I was maybe, yeah, that looks obvious in hindsight. I don't know why I didn't do that. That's nuts.
So I'm sure that you considered it and then you saw the cut and then just said, oh, it looks bad. But did you read the cut?
Obviously not, because that's fine.
Okay, so make sure you build a habit to read but the cut before you just defend it. It's very important. I would rather you die and lose the game than to not read a cut. Okay,
Yeah.
because the habits you build from reading and learning are going to be better than just defending something that doesn't work. It'll make you stronger faster to read and read it incorrectly and then die and learn a new pattern or shape and then get stronger than it would be for you to just play a bad habit and then you're going to be playing slow moves. So I'd rather you read and die and learn than to play an empty triangle without checking. However, this is a very common Joseki. So we're at 9Q now. Make sure that you're doing your studies, not just playing games, but also studying, because it's 50% play, 50% study. This is a common enough Joseki that we do need to know it by 9Q. And you can get to single digit Q without Joseki knowledge, but it's going to really hurt you at single digit Q if you don't have Joseki knowledge. It's going to be like really painful in the opening.
Okay.
I already shared my opinion on this move. I don't know what AI thinks about it, but my knowledge is this is usually the wrong move.
Okay.
I would just play open side, which is top side or right side. So I'll just play here. I think it's easy, simple. Your opponent goes here, then you say, okay, is mine bigger or theirs? If theirs is bigger, then just go in. Just invade. Don't overthink it. Just play basics. This move is not Joseki. So maybe I think you actually this might be catching people off guard because I think this is not a common Joseki. So maybe this is the second time that people have not done this card. So maybe this is just a good Joseki as a secret weapon if you study it, because your opponents keep messing it up, or the opponents keep messing it up. That's a big corner. That is not the shape. Do you know about the double wing principle with the star point?
I thought it was good, but no, that's bad.
No, this is really bad because
Oh,
this is still a ko.
oh, great. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
So
It's
if
not
you need to seal the corner, it needs to be a diagonal.
tighter. Okay.
But sealing the corner could be considered slow. I think maybe an extension or an invasion or something up here. This shape kind of looks funny. Let's see, Hane, block, Hane, Nobi, some maybe here.
Okay.
Yeah, that looks like a decent combination. Yeah, just something maybe on the top or the big, just something on one of the big frameworks. That's all I want to see. But this one looks not good because that's still available for 3 moves. It's a lot of Aji. Close, the shape is here.
Okay, makes sense.
But that's fine. That's not a big deal. Left side is not where I'd be. I would be on the okay. White's is clearly bigger than black's by now. So we can invade, and invade by taking the base, invade in a way that you can have Miai for 2 space. Just just deal with the biggest framework. It looks like today I'm seeing a lot of players, or I guess 2 players, that are not getting to the big frameworks. Like, I don't know why, maybe it's intimidating, but avoiding the problem, it's just going to make the problem bigger. So if you're building yours and they're building something bigger, then why are you building yours? It just mathematically just doesn't make sense. If you're getting 1 point at a time and they're getting 2 points at a time, they're going to win. So you need to go stop them from making more than you, right?
Yeah.
So mathematically, it just doesn't make sense to just play on our area if theirs is just bigger.
Like making theirs bigger, yeah.
Okay, there we go. But you see how like you still ended up having to go in, but now they have 2 more moves.
Now 12.
So the longer you take to get there, the bigger the problem becomes. For whites, I think this is just unnecessary. I'm reviewing for a lot for black. I think for white, just build the area, like just make it bigger. You have more points. Just trade points, and yours is bigger. You'll get to attack eventually, or you just win. Okay. You probably want to be 2 space from these, and high so you can surround more because you have Melio, so surrounding would be nice. This feels a little bit far because there's already an eye right there. This is bad shape. You wanna run.
Okay.
2-on-2 leads to the double Hane to Tsuji. And you see how the influence is really nice for white.
Yeah.
If we're aiming for a Ko, that's nice. But are we wanting a Ko?
No.
I wouldn't worry about the cuts right now. Just Nobi. Doop, 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 doop. There's nothing to worry about. Yeah. This one is a bit passive because we're strong, so we want to fight there. So if you read the cuts, it looks okay. But I can understand you know, fix the cuts. I'm always yelling at my students to fix the cuts, so I understand the fear. But in this case, I think the cuts don't work. Good double Hane. Building, which is good. Maybe not good. I'm not sure. Because technically there's an Atari right there, but also you have cutting points, which is not good. But technically black had less liberties, and that was still a false eye, so I don't know. Where's our profit? We need to be thinking about profit. What about just pushing black down? That's a lot of points. It looks like white keeps going left, right, left, right, left, right. That's never going to make enough profit. Pick a side and stick to it. Oh, no. Are we alive? We're not alive. We are not alive yet. That is a box 4. We are not alive yet. We cannot be making a second weak group right next to it. That's going to get us killed. Like one of these could easily die right now. So if you're going to reduce, try to reduce by staying on the group, or just make life, and then you can do whatever you want, right? But if you invade, I'm going to cut you, and you're going to be in a lot of trouble because now you have 2 problems instead of 1. I think if your opponent gets 2 weak groups in your area, you should cut. So this is giving black a chance to fix, but that is a nice double peep. Bamboo is better than the empty triangle. See, so this don't end up dying. So your move ended up dying. So that it makes it a bad move. This is making a commitment and not watching the cutting points. It doesn't work. It might work. If it works, it'd be great. So this move is good or bad depending on the read. Tari, there, push. Oh no, you're so close. You're trying to be too fancy and do last move first instead of just thinking, oh, I only have 2 liberties. Oh, yeah. No, the read was correct. If for this sequence, the read is correct. All you have to do is Atari. But what you can't do is try to be fancy here, because normally the last move first does work. But in this particular case, you're just going to get Atari. Oh, dear. Whoopsie. Okay, this one is probably playing too fast or overthinking, like thinking in too many layers. Just back it up 1 layer and just like don't forget liberties. Counting liberties is important. I do like how Gon was reading here. It looks like Gon actually did read this through, and if you're picturing the Ataris and trying to do last move first, it makes sense. But there's also a thing is overreading, where you think that the sequence already exists when it doesn't yet, and then you miss something simple because you're so caught up in the future that you miss the present. So you miss the fact that, hey, you only have 2 liberties. So you got to be careful with it. It's a balance. It's a balance. So this one, I think it's just learning pains, growing pains. You're learning to read, but you missed an Atari. So just make sure you're counting the liberties in your sequences and keep double checking throughout the sequences what the liberties are. But yeah, so it's here and then probably here, cut, Atari, take, connect. W. I think that's the sequence that should happen. Yeah. Yeah, so I think White was playing well. I think Black was too fearful, and then when Black came in, you made a second weak group. But White ended up making the bigger blunder during the fight because of overreading. I think from the moves, I can't really read minds, but I can try to like gather an idea of what they were thinking about from the moves if they're not here. And so my thinking is that White was reading this and then missed the fact that he only had 2 liberties, and so yeah.
Yeah.
I think White overread here. So in other words, if White was reading just had more practice reading with more experience, then I think White could have definitely outfought Black here. And I think it's because 2 weak groups and this a weak group next to a weak group, too dangerous, waited too long to come in, and your defense was you gave a double Hane and it was just a little too small. But that's hard to improve. But I think the big stuff is don't wait so long to come in, just Psyche knowledge, don't make a second weak group next to another one, and White is just more practice reading. And maybe get to the big move sooner. Yeah, my time is up. So hopefully you guys enjoy the reviews.
Yeah, thanks a ton. Appreciate it.